She is a sales support and proposal specialist at ARA, who is going to share some of her adventures in do-it-yourself home remodeling improvements with us tonight. She's married to Scott, and she has 2 boxers, Porsche and Frosty. Let's give her a big round of applause.
As Sarah said, my name is Tennille Ceasar, and I became familiar with this event by working with her, so that was exciting. And my plan for tonight is to sort of take you through a little bit of a virtual tour through our little projects, and so definitely not as serious as some of the other presentations, but hopefully you'll bear with me. Hopefully you'll find it amusing, and maybe you'll find something useful out of it. So let's go ahead. So I'm going to start our tour with our foyer. As Sarah said, I have 2 boxers, and so you can probably guess where I was going here. They obviously scratch a lot of our woodwork, and so this is my first tip, and it's one of my favorite things. It's this wood stain pen. You've probably seen these, but they really work miracles. They don't make it perfect, but they definitely make it a lot better. So I'm going to move into our formal living room, and here I just selected some old vases that I painted, and this is the type of thing that everybody has in their house. Any woman who's ever gotten flowers has an ugly vase, and you can very easily paint it and make it something that blends with your decor, make it something that you like, and so that is why I chose that. These pieces are something that I really enjoy. They're from the Target clearance section. I think I spent $5 total on them, and I think that's plenty of money for something that you're never going to use, but they served as inspiration for me. I sort of used them to start designing this front room, and which brings me to this next piece. I don't know if any of you have ever gotten ugly wedding presents, but these were like ugly photo posters with doodles of wedding bells and baby rattles, and so I painted them to sort of match the platter and the bowl that you saw a minute ago, and they turned out really nice. It's hard to tell in the picture, but they kind of match. And so the other inspiration was the metallic feel from those. We had this white room with white carpet and brown tables and brown couch, and so I opted to do this feature wall, and I tried to make it look like burnished copper, and I did that with paint and by watching YouTube videos and learning from that. So moving on, the next project I chose was picture frames. This is another thing that everyone has a ton of in their house. A lot of them are very plain. Some even might say ugly. They're usually just a means to an end. And so it's another thing that's very easy to spray paint, or you can paint it by hand and try to add texture. Moving on to this next slide, not only do the photo frames matter, but what you put in them matter. So try to use stuff around your house. This map came from a tour that my husband and I did in the Caribbean, and the peacock feathers were decorations from our wedding, and so, why go out and buy pictures? Which brings us into our dining room, and I don't know how many of you use your formal dining room. We don't, so we weren't exactly thrilled about spending a lot of money on a table. Luckily, Scott's grandma had a shed with furniture for us to choose from, and so we got this lovely thing, but it obviously required a little bit of work. So I painted the legs and refinished the tabletop, and I was going for kind of a shabby, chic, trendy look, and I think I got it. I'm pretty proud of it. I had to reupholster the chairs, of course, and so it was definitely a lot of work, but painting those legs made it a whole lot easier than trying to refinish it. So if we zoom in a little bit, I try not to waste things, and so I took the extra fabric from the table, or the chair seats, and made placemats out of them, and also my centerpiece is more stuff from Scott's grandma's house, so it sort of has a little bit of meaning, and I realized that vase, that jar needs flowers in it, Scott. So, we're going to move on into the kitchen. A lot of kitchens have this problem. There's not tons of storage, and we sort of had some dead space with this little bumped wall. So I decided to design some open cabinets, or open storage, because that's really in right now. And I actually just used construction lumber to make those. So our most recent kitchen project is doing granite countertops. Believe it or not, we found these on Craigslist for about $30, which is ridiculous. So we made it work by using the apron sink because we didn't have to cut a sinkhole, and it was a lot of work, but we're very happy with that. The last thing I'm going to say about the kitchen is your hardware, because this is to really update your house. We had really ugly, ornate, antique brass handles on everything. And so just putting brush and nickel on the faceplates, the cabinetry, the doorknobs made a really big difference. So now I'm going to carry you into, not carry you, that'd be weird, into the living room. And we had a really special 1970s built-in fireplace storage unit, as you can see. We filled in those lines, painted it, textured it, cut off the scallops, and the outcome was pretty good. So now we're going to go upstairs. I chose my master bedroom because I had really a lot of blank walls, and I wanted some sort of statement piece above the bed. Of course, the one I wanted cost about $200, and it wasn't that important. So I found this for about $20 at Gordon's, and my best friend's spray paint. And again, I was trying to go for that burnished, hammered metal look, and kind of to match the lamps. And I was pretty pleased with the outcome. The only thing different about what I wanted was that it was one piece, and so I was pretty pleased with that, given the fact that it's totally useless, except for my lighting. So now I'm going to go into the biggest project, and that was our master bathroom. And I'm really bad at taking before pictures. I tried to start a blog, but I do a project with the blog in mind and forget to take before pictures. These are very rare. So you can see it's very unpleasant. The seashell sink, there was carpet on the floor, those lights, yikes. So this is the after. We retiled the entire thing. We chose to do it on a diamond, and that was a lot of work, but added a lot of gratification at the end. We changed the fixtures and added body jets, and we tiled the ceiling. And I can't really take much credit for this. My husband did it all. But, if you have someone that's handy in your house, that's really helpful. One thing about doing this diamond that made it a little easier was that we used that mosaic tile as a trim. And so we didn't have to worry about the lines matching up from the wall onto the floor. And that made it immensely easier. The last thing I'm going to touch on is the granite countertops. Believe it or not, they're actually very easy to obtain. And if you have any sort of standard size counter in your house, you can get them for very cheap at Lowe's and Home Depot and Menards. Or you can contact a stone fabricator, like the one in the bottom there, and ask them about a remnant.